2024. It's about 42 degrees here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I am on my way into work, just getting a couple things set up here so I can read the chat for one in a safe manner while I'm driving down the road. Okay, turn the heat seaters off, and yeah, we're gonna get going here in just a moment. But thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I appreciate it greatly. And yeah, so what is the plan for today? Great question. And it's one of those things where we're always trying to figure out, you know, for me anyway, what is my day going to look like? What is the plan? And also, am I prepared to execute that plan? A lot of things just depend on, for one, what I'm going to do, right? And so, what am I talking about with preparedness? Was I prepared for this live stream? Right? Warren, good morning. Maggie is at home today. My wife is not on a business trip. And so when she's not, when my wife is at home, Maggie likes to stay at home. Sometimes I bring her to work with me, but it just depends, you know. So a lot of things to think about, consider, and such for this morning, you know. So yeah, plan for today. It's a heavy admin day. I'm measuring somebody for a helmet that they ordered. I sell Tomefly specialty suits and helmets, and so these are custom flight suits for indoor skydiving, as well as custom built helmets, custom fitted helmets that you have to have a special fitting kit for. So they're pretty cool. This helmet's crash rated. It doesn't have a dot rating on it like we would want like our motorcycle helmets to have, or I guess that we're required to have for motorcycle style helmets. But they're great for indoor skydiving. Could it sustain an impact from a motorcycle crash? I wouldn't bet my life on it. If I'm gonna ride a motorcycle, I'll wear a motorcycle helmet or no helmet at all. Were there helmets rated for regular skydiving? Yes, they're indoor skydiving helmets. They're outdoor skydiving helmets. The rating, the ANSI rating is, no, it doesn't. I don't think it has an ANSI, the ANSI, American National Standards Institute rating. It's a European standard, and I forgot what the thing is. But if you're really curious to know what the rating is, Warren, go to tomefly.com. and you can see these flight suits that skydivers will get and use. It's kind of crazy because they're expensive, kind of like our drone flying hobby is, right? But you buy one helmet, you buy one flight suit, and ideally that's all you hold on to for the long haul. To include the parachute, you know, the parachute system can range anywhere between, if you're buying it used, $3,000 to $4,000, as high as 10 grand, depending on what you get customization wise, depending on what you get color wise, you know, embroideries, embellishments, etc. All the features that can be added to a life-saving system, effectively speaking, you know. Raina, good morning. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. Appreciate you this beautiful day here in Virginia Beach. It's about 8:30 here in Virginia. I've got a little bit of cloud covering here to the east, which it makes for a pretty neat skyline, you know. So here, I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Let's reverse the camera angle. Let me get across the road here. All right, and so let's reverse the camera. So this is what we're looking at, sun and skywise. The sunrise was about 7 o'clock this morning, and 07, and so we are out of the golden hour, so things are going to be a little washed out on the way into work, but it looks pretty nice out there, you know, considering. We'll keep this view for a few more moments as I talk about what the plan is for the day. Yeah. And yeah, I'm trying to find my live stream that I'm doing right now so that I can actually pull up the what do you call it, this live stream on my backup phone, my old cell phone that I no longer use anymore, because I want to read the chat while on a bigger screen. We have the double bubble this morning. Sunrise in the east, moon set in the west. Too early in the morning. It's like, man, I don't really want to get up that early, you know, but that's what we have going on sometimes, right? So let's see here. We'll bring it back over to me. Whew. But yeah, I'm measuring this guy for a helmet, and he's just getting a standard black helmet. Some people like to put various colors, various embellishments, name tags, stickers on it that are custom made for that particular individual, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's some of the different what do you call it? It's that I see. Where is the dang live? So odd. All right, maybe it's in YouTube Studio. Okay, green. I'll just have to read it off the screen because I don't seem to be able to find it here. Cool Cat, good morning. I thought I saw you. Yeehaw indeed. Oh my gosh, my steering wheel is getting too warm. It's funny, it's 42 degrees, and I prefer the cool versus the heat. For one, it's easier to fly in. You know, you could stay outside longer than you can inside, and it's easier to warm up than it is to actually cool down, I think. You know, and that was actually one of my specialties in the Navy. I was a winter warfare operator, and it's funny as that sounds too, because a lot of my peers are like, particularly when I were going for training, they were like, you want to go East Coast or West Coast? And I was like, I want to go East Coast. I want to go to, I want to operate in Europe, you know. And they pegged me for a jungle guy, you know, because go figure, right? But I was like, no, I want to go operate in an urban environment. And this was back when the units were regionalized. Like one unit was for a specific AO. Now everybody goes to Afghanistan, you know. Every unit it's a chance to go out there to participate, you know. So yeah, but I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this morning and listening in to my plan of the day. I'll go home as usual. I might actually get some flying in from work today, because I would like to get some footage for iFly Virginia Beach, and some other footages, some other videos as well. Maybe I'll see Matt Bagwell. I know he doesn't get on the live streams because he's busy driving and doing his thing. But if you don't know who Matt Bagwell is, he's another Virginia Beach drone pilot who's pretty active in the other Facebook groups that we see. We see him every once in a while, but yeah, he's got a really good side hustle going on with the drone flying, like me, you know. In fact, I think some of his work has been featured in some local publications, which is awesome, particularly since he's documenting, if you will, or unofficially filming the construction of the wave park that's getting built, maybe 3 or 4 blocks away. We'll say 10 blocks away from my location. 7 blocks away from my location. So, I saw something about FedEx. Don't look, but I think you've got a rare Mongolian swamp gerbil just under your chin. This thing, that's the puff for the microphone. So, yeah, it's a windscreen. But I leave that windscreen on now just to ensure that it's not picking up the ambient noise coming from the vehicle, for one. You know, while we're moving out down the road there. But yes. FedEx is coming this afternoon. I hope Matt doesn't hear me. Matt gets it. I'm just happy he doesn't open up my boxes when they arrive. The funny thing is, when you get stuff from DJI, it does not say it's coming from DJI, but it is coming from a certain location in California. I guess they got wise to when people see DJI, boxes get opened, right? So they no longer put DJI as on the return mailing label anyway. So this is super odd that I cannot see my own live on my channel, you know, because I'm trying to get to that over here, so like I said, so I could read the chat on this separate phone, which is why I've got the separate phone in the first place. But no, I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me this morning. Oh my gosh, it's too warm now. Yeah, car temperature is 60 degrees. So that's the plan of the day. Fly a little bit at the oceanfront. Get some day shots at Firefly, Virginia Beach, and of the beach when there's no one on it. Because, yeah, in the wintertime, I don't fly in the summertime. It's too hot to go up onto the roof for one. And there's just way too many people on the beach itself, where typically when I fly the oceanfront in the summer, I'm flying over the ocean, so I'm not flying over people, right? Ate Emma TV, good morning, and mega love shout out to you. How are you today? Thanks for hanging out. I've got a new PC arriving the next 90 minutes from Amazon. Dude, that's awesome! Congratulations. You've seen it now. I think you bought a pre-built, correct? Which is freaking cool. Are you gonna do more video editing, or is it primarily for gaming? Cool cat. I got 2 VRs on Fortnite on Saturday, and then I just got destroyed on Sunday. And then my brother and his son played, and we got killed pretty quickly a lot. But these things happen, you know? And I was like, yeah, you know what? Sometimes, I mean, it's a lot of it's luck of the draw, how I'm feeling, if I'm really into playing that game, you know, as well. Oh, did you see the my drone and Fortnite fusion video? I don't remember. I think you did. It was really cool to fly my battle bus drone. Yeah, I found this battle bus drone on Amazon. I was like, huh. Well, I'm curious to know. It was overpriced on Amazon. It was like $150. But I found it on eBay for a lot less, for half that price. And I thought, wow, why is that the case? And yeah, you saw it. I sent you the link, Cool Cat, for that drone. But it flies really well. You know, it's stable, that's for sure, for brushed motors. They did get really hot. It takes about 2 hours to get a full charge out of it for maybe, we'll call it 5 minutes of flight time. There's a down vehicle on the right here, so I'm going to get into the middle lane to avoid this person. Give that person a little bit of space to work on their vehicle. I do that when I see vehicles on the side of the road, give them a little space. Down vehicles and or police officers on the shoulder, I move one lane over because it's safe, right? And that's a good thing, I think. Let's see here. Sounds like a great plan to me, sir. I look forward to it. Right on, man. Yeah, that's the goal, is to try to fly every day, but sometimes obviously with the weather, and of course I have to be able to feel like I want to fly. You know, I've got to be prepared to fly. Even though I have the gear and I'm always ready to fly, because my everyday carry, right? My EDC, the drone is part of that. And all the parts, all the stuff I need to do, I need to fly the drone, to include all the stuff I need to do a DriveStream as well. You know, it's like, it's always part of the kit. And I prepare this stuff the night before so that all I've got to do is grab my bag and go, especially if I wake up late in the morning. It's like, oh man, I need to get ready in 30 minutes instead of my normal leisurely 1 hour to prepare for work. I can get it done in 30 minutes, but that means I'm moving out and, you know, streamline. I can even set the timer for the coffee so it's ready for me to go and drink first thing in the morning, you know. And I only have, well, I guess technically speaking, I have 6 cups of coffee in the morning. Because the cup is what, 8 ounces? And that's what the thing says. I have 6 of those. So, because I like it, right? Do I need it? No, actually, I've survived. I've gone backpacking and I'll have a little bit. I'll have 1 cup, maybe 2 cups of coffee in the field. You know, in fact, kind of miss that. I miss scouting. I miss camping. I miss backpacking. I miss getting out in the outdoors and just being, you know, away from everything for even just a little bit. But, and maybe I'll get back into it again at some point. I'm still technically a Scout Merit Badge counselor, which I enjoy doing also. And I should probably add being a STEM Nova Award counselor as well, since I teach STEM at iFly Virginia Beach. Because my understanding is they don't have a STEM counselor anymore. Maybe the people that were STEM counselors have moved on. But maybe, no, that can't be. There are several people that are counselors for local units. But yeah, I saw, let's see here. I need to catch up on the chat. Apologies, Cool Cat. And that is certainly the disadvantage of what do you call it? Of drive streaming. The interaction that I like to have with you guys is minimal because clearly I'm driving and moving out, you know. For safety always, right? That's the goal. I wonder if this older phone would fit in the same case, this mag case that I have. Because the phone that we're on right now, it's on a magnetic backing, which is pretty cool. And I've seen some guys with a magnetic case that'll just stick to anything. It doesn't have to be a MagSafe case or holder, you know. But oh wow, it's warmed up here at the oceanfront, surprisingly. It says 47 degrees, which is pretty warm. I won't need my hand warmers to fly, although maybe I'm not gonna need it. I brought it with me, the gigantic controller mittens, right? But we'll pull into the garage here and we'll go from there so I can read the chat a little bit. All right. What time is it? I've got a little bit of time. I was gonna say we'll drive around a little bit more, but let's see here. And then, of course, when I get home this afternoon, help my wife continue to clean the house because she's got that bug to clean the house, which we started doing last night. And I don't mind. I mean, it's part of home ownership, right? And just living, being clean and organized. So unfortunately, my office is not 100% organized like I want it to be, but you get in a groove, you're doing stuff, and the next thing you're called to do something else, and you lose track, and next thing you know, everything explodes. It gets everywhere, and at least I know where all the stuff is, my tools and parts and this and that, for the most part, in my office, particularly the things and items that I utilize on a regular basis. You know, but that does not support the idea of being prepared also, because if I need something specific, I can't get to it. All right, let's look at the chat. Cool Cat, let's see here. Sounds like a great plan to me. Thank you very much. I'm excited about it. I bought parts, case, motherboard, PS, CPU, etc. Got to build it. Oh, that's awesome. That's cool that you've got the technical expertise and knowledge to do that as well. I would need to rely on the internet heavily in order to build my own PC. Just because even though my current video editing PC is a custom build, my son was the one that put it together for me, and he's like, "You got to do it yourself, Dad, so you know how to do it." And 100% agree. And I just didn't get a chance to do it. I was like, just set it up because I'm working on this other video. But yes, that's cool, bro. I saw it after the fact, Jason. I loved it. The battle bus flew and survived, and it will still look good on a shelf. On your phone settings, you can make the writing larger, making it easier to read. Oh yeah, all right. I need to figure that out too, because what I really want to do is have it, I guess, spoken to me. And I was researching that, and then I stopped researching it. But maybe I'm due to start researching that always again. You know, my pack has been put away for 4 years or so. Yeah, no kidding, Don. Were you a scout leader also, or you're just a backpacker? because that's cool. Yeah, the longest backpacking trip I've ever done, it was probably at Philmont Scout Ranch. We did over 100 miles, and I don't remember how long we did. We did half the long trail in Vermont when I was a scout. That was about 2 weeks of backpacking. So maybe that was a lot longer than the stuff we did at Philmont, because we basically just backpacked, walked from one location to the next location, to the next location, to the next location every day. With the exception of, I think we stopped for the first time for more than a day. As kind of like a break from walking so much. We stayed at a church and we went into the town, and that was the very first time that I've ever had Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I mean, we were in Vermont, right? And this was like in 1992. So that was pretty cool. But let's see, I always drink some tea before I go out of my home. I watch a bit of Frasier while the robot vacuum takes a few spins around the lounge. I camp and fish every summer and love it. Heck yeah, Cool Cat. That's awesome, dude. You know, that's pretty cool to hear that that's part of your plans on a regular basis, you know. I mean, we don't have a regular annual plan that we're going to do this and that and that and this. You know, we used to, but no more. We just fly by the seat of our pants. We don't plan anything out anymore. My wife and I just, hey, let's do this. Let's go do that. You know, very spontaneous, if you will. With the exception of the big trips, like when we go visit family in Texas, for example, then we would, of course, you know, plan that out. Or when people come to see us. So, let's see here. Don, backpack. Yes. Hey, Steven, good morning. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. That's awesome. Yes, did you watch any of the Win Games? You know what? I did not see the Win Games. I saw that Mike Sopko was in freestyle. And looking at the scores, I couldn't see the placing. It's very odd. But yeah, I did not get a chance to see any of the Win Games. So maybe they'll have it up and running on the site later on. Or maybe it's on YouTube already. Let's see here. Mudball Don, when I packed out, I would take coffee beans and chew them on the trail. Oh, interesting. I've heard people doing that. Yeah, I bring coffee grinds with me and like a backpacking French press. And boil water out in the field and just do the thing, and there's my coffee. That was like the big deal in when we went backpacking in Philmont with the other adult leaders. They were like, "Holy cow, you brought a French press!" I was like, "Heck yeah!" I've used that thing since. I've had to get a second one, but I still have the one from when I. Oh wow, no, I actually still have the one from 1999 when I first got it issued to me. You know. Hey Scott, good morning. Thanks for hanging out today, man. All right, let's see here. Let me get you one of these jackets for yourself as well. Let's see. Thanks for joining, Scott. Appreciate you hanging out and supporting as always, man. Let's see here. And Cool Cat, I don't have the experience to build a PC. I'm winging it using my internet and my iPad. I'm sure I'll be okay. You know what, Cool Cat? I think so too. It's one of those things where, I mean, the internet, YouTube, what a great resource. In fact, Cool Cat, do this. Video you doing it, putting it all together, you know. I mean, if you want to post it on YouTube, great. That would be awesome, you know, and maybe lessons learned, or it could be one of those, if you don't want to, you know, you could do like a faceless of your hands just doing the work, or I think it'd be cool. I mean, to see the lessons learned from your experience as well, because if you had a question about it, I'm sure somebody else does or did as well, and that video could be a resource, which is kind of like how I started doing the whole YouTube thing, you know, to help me, you know, share my experiences, my shortfalls, my successes with YouTube, because if I had the question, somebody else will as well. And so that's why I do what I do with respect to the tutorials. You know, someone's asked a question, I'm going to, you know, try to answer it. In fact, there's so many questions I saw on the various YouTube videos. Valentine Chills. Good morning. Every time I see your name, I think to myself, how do I say that? I know it's Clizia Marlene, but Chilizia, chills. So good morning and thanks for joining and hanging out with me again as usual. Never in Scouts, 100 miles, dang. Yeah, in fact, my son did a little bit more because in a 3-week period, because when we were in Philmont together in 2019, we did 2 weeks with the troop, and then he stayed for an additional week for a national youth leadership training seminar where they did some more backpacking. So he added a couple more miles to that, and it was together it was just over 100 miles, But yeah, long trail, however long that is in Vermont, I think that was the longest one that I've done. Mudball Don, usually do 17 to 20 mile loops. That's a lot, man. That's pretty cool. Where are you located? I don't remember, Don. In fact, that would be awesome to do some backpacking with your drone and get out there and do some filming, because that's a lot of extra gear to carry, right? How much is the kit? The additional kit. Neon Bonsai Boy, thanks for joining. They live streamed it, but it had some glitches. Also, YouTube seems to limit the stream videos to 12 hours long, so they lost the last 1.5 hours of their live stream the first day. Yes, but they could have picked it up once they knew they lost it, unless they just were not aware that they lost it. And so that happens. I remember when we live streamed the games here, we hired a company to come in and do this full-blown production. It cost a lot of money, which is why we were like, if we were ever to hold a national level competition again, we would have to do it. We would not want to step back to how we did it. It was a really well done video production, but very expensive at the same time. And the skydivers, the competitors all complained about, the costs for it. Well, if you want it to be cool, this is what there's a cost to it, So we're never doing another competition here again, as far as I can tell. So let's see. Mike got 4th in freestyle and Emma got 6th. Oh, wow. Congratulations. That's awesome. Very tough competition at the top. Yes, I'll bet. That's cool, bro. Congratulations. To those competitors. That's freaking awesome. Let's see here. Let's see. Cool Cat. Scott, welcome to the Spannerverse. Scott, with great power comes great responsibility. Indeed. I'm an ideal world. I would probably videoing my building experience. I'm not much of a videographer, even with my flying, but I'm probably going to start doing that eventually. I need a camera. Use your cell phone. That's what we're on right now. In fact, the cell phone technology that we have these days is pretty darn amazing, where, I'm using the cell phone. I invested in the DJI wireless microphone system, which is providing that crisp sound. I think it's crisp, or better sound than just using the microphone on the phone itself. But I really like this microphone. In fact, DJI just released the DJI wireless microphone 2. So that's out now and available for sale. But don't know. I've only recently started getting the newest technology because I thought to myself, hey, let's do it. Why not, right? I deserve it. Earned it, right? So I'm doing that. But yeah. Let's see. I'm in Southwest Missouri. That's how y'all say it, right? Missouri, not Missouri. Hike mainly in the Ozark National Forest in Arkansas. Right on, Don. That's pretty awesome, man. The problem about filming yourself building something is that it splits your attention. Yeah, 100% agree. I've got this mount and like tripod, and oh, you know what? I totally forgot. I still have to do the unboxing of my DJI Osmo Mobile 6. I bought it before Christmas, and yeah, it's in my office. It's in my office underneath the baseball gloves. That's why I forgot about it. That's another consideration. I have to have 100% of my attention on building. Indeed. No, the focus has to be there. And or maybe it's, you try it and so that you understand, hey, what you want to do again if you want to continue making videos, or I'm going to video this particular part of this build, So yes, it is a challenge to film and build at the same time, being hands-free is definitely and having a mount is important, and being prepared for that, for that event also. So prior to doing a stream, when I'm on the road, the microphone's got to be set up. My secondary screen is supposed to be set up before I start driving, so I'm not doing it on the road. I thought I could do it easily. I have everything mounted so that I'm not fumbling with it. I remember the very first one I did, I had the mount, but the clamp that I had it on, right, it kept opening and closing in the middle of the live stream, and sometimes you'd see it fall in the thing. It's like, man, unlucky, not prepared very well, right? So, heck yeah, Cool Cat. In fact, send your specs if you're interested. In fact, I've got my website, jasonlavarius.com, has the specs of my first build, but it's got the build that I'm currently using for my video editing PC, as well as my coworker's video editing PC, which was just over $1,000 US for his build. I've been meaning to put my son's build on there because he's added to it as well. He just got a 3080 Ti GPU for it, even though he's like, yeah, that's all he does. He's like, I don't need the 4070 or 4060. He's like, he's very, he's very conservative when he gets his gear and equipment. He's not like me where it's like, oh, I want to get the best piece now, And I've only recently become, I won't say recently, I've become that way, interested in buying the best equipment because I know I'm going to want to upgrade later on anyway. So, for example, getting the best PC in 2022, which I would submit might be a little outdated now, or it'll be good for at least the next 1 or 2 years, then we're okay. It's like my cable modem. I mean, how many months did how many years? I mean, I thought that would last a lot longer than 3 years, but it's because the cable company wanted me to do the lease, which I did. I bought into it, of their cable modem. So it is what it is, We have to do some gaming in PUBG sometime. Anyone with military experience is a real bonus for the team. 2 of my regular teammates are ex-Royal Artillery, and they're great. Hey, right on, Cool Cat. Bro, as much as I want to, I don't want to get sucked into another game because you see how I do. I'll get sucked into it. Next, I'm doing that all the time now, But I appreciate the invitation for sure. And maybe I will. Maybe you'll convince me one of these days. PUBG. I think you said that was like the original Fortnite type of a game. In fact, I told my brother about it. He's like, yeah, but because his son plays Fortnite, that's what he plays. Just because, I mean, right now we only like playing, as a squad. We don't. Somebody joined our squad because yesterday, my brother and I. He's like, why is there a third person? And he's like, oh, we forgot to go from trios to duos. And he's like, all right, let's get out. So we got out. We don't really play with other people. Mommy 45 Adventures, good morning and thanks for hanging out today. So big picture, plan of the day is admin and fly, both in the wind tunnel and or drones, and help my wife do some cleaning, and start this guy flying through the garage. Let's see if this guy busts a stop sign also. And nope, they actually, California slowed it down. I guess they saw the pedestrian. That dude just came barreling around the corner without stopping. And preparedness. Yeah, big picture, be prepared, right? Scout motto, be prepared. And my personal motto is be prepared for everything. Anything that we do. And are you prepared? What have you done to prepare yourself for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year, for life? I mean, are you prepared for the next COVID? I mean, do you have enough toilet paper stocked in your house? Right? Not to say that one needs to be prepared for catastrophe, but when we were not prepared for catastrophe, look what happened. People were scrambling for toilet paper. And the funny thing is, my wife, she not to say that we stocked up on it, but once that had happened and we discovered that there was a shortage of toilet paper, we were actually good because, I mean, we go to the Sam's Club and get those giant things of toilet paper. But what about food and water? Can you imagine? I mean, I think I saw some news about AT&T lost cellular phone signal for a while, but. And were people prepared for that? You know what? If we lost internet, like I did the other night, it's like I could find something else to do with my time. I don't need it. You could still continue to make videos to post later on, right? So being prepared is kind of a good thing, and one we should always be ready for. I mean, do you do push-ups and pull-ups? Are you physically fit and prepared physically as well? I mean, growing up, or with my son, once he started playing video games, the rule in the house was you've got to do at least 10 push-ups every time you die, or change games or change levels, right? That way we're not sitting there. I think we've gotten a little away from that, although I've got the pull-up bar outside my office, so every time I sit down, I'll go and do a set of pull-ups. I'll vary it, of course, between, palms in, palms away, wide grip, close grip. Sometimes I'll just go chest to bar. All depends, but it's just at a minimum staying somewhat physically prepared, because I don't work out like I should, right? I know that when I start to work out, I have a tendency to push myself where it's no longer enjoyable, but that's just how I do it, because I'm preparing for something specific, and when that's how I've always worked out. I've always worked out to prepare for a specific event, like boxing. I would work out specific for boxing. Once boxing was over, right, and nationals were done, I would stop working out, until I was like, all right, cool, it's time to get back in shape for the season again, right? But being prepared physically will also help one be prepared mentally, because when you push yourself and go over the line, so to speak, and to failure, for example, when you're faced with a situation, mentally speaking, you could face that situation. So being physically fit is part of being prepared as well. So consider that, folks. It's like, I mean, being physically fit, to YouTube, for example, you're mentally prepared. You're mentally preparing yourself, I think, as well, because you're giving yourself that boost of confidence. There's different serotonin levels increase because you're happy. And so being physically fit will also prepare you for longevity, for the long haul. Eventually do you want help getting off the toilet, or do you want to be able to squat your butt off the toilet yourself? So doing squats is kind of one necessary thing. Just so sit there and do air squats on a regular basis. Between games, stand up, stretch, don't walk, maybe do 10 air squats using proper form. And what does proper form mean for doing air squats? So you don't hurt your back. And start slow, start low repetitions, But look on the internet, what is a proper back squat? Maintaining that lumbar arch where you sit your butt back first and then you pop your hips forward. Send the butt back first, squat down and hips forward, But do your squats, do your pull-ups, or do your push-ups, do your sit-ups, because once again, that will help you be physically prepared, to help you be mentally prepared for everything that you do at the same time. So on that note, folks, let's see here. That's a great way to keep active. One of the most damaging things to do is become inactive. Many doctors are saying sitting is the new smoking. For me, who occasionally sits and smokes, it's a worry. So maybe do some squats while you smoke. Do some push-ups while you smoke. It's funny. We had, real quick on that, we had just finished a 3.5-mile ocean swim. And I exit the water, and I'll get to the details of, all right, we'll go through a little bit of the details. It was a cold July, 2010. And the water was super cold, but I like to swim in the cold. I didn't have a wetsuit like a lot of my peers did. And I was reading the waves because I'm an old guy, and I prefer to do things smarter, not harder. Typically, when we swim in the ocean, we'll swim outside the surf zone, so we're not getting beat up in the surf zone while the wave's crashing. Well, I could see that the current was pushing north inside the surf zone and south outside the surf zone, because that's typically what happens. It swirls, right? It goes back and forth when you cross those lines. If, let's say this is a surf zone right here, it's going to go north this way and south this way, typically. At least that's what I read on the waves that one particular day. So I thought to myself, well, I don't really want to swim that long, because the last time I swam 3.5 miles was in training, and I decided to swim inside the surf zone. So I effectively, every time a wave hit me in the face, I would just let the wave roll me over. So my stroke, my swim stroke for that day was a corkscrew. So I corkscrewed through, for 3.5 miles. I actually had to stop and go to the bathroom a couple times because I drank so much seawater. Yeah. So, and when I say go to the bathroom, what happens when you drink salt water? A lot of it. You got to pee. You got to poo. So I stopped and peed and pooed in the Atlantic Ocean at the oceanfront of Virginia Beach in the middle of a 3.5 mile ocean swim. And I got out of the water bloated, feeling like crap, tired, swole because, just swimming for 3.5 miles. And I crossed over the berm and they're like, hey, everybody, first one out of the water. I had won the 3.5 mile ocean swim. I swam it, and with fins on, of course, 1 hour and 24 minutes, I think was my time. And I was like, what? Like, yeah, that boat all the way out there, that's Wolfpack. And the Wolfpack is what we call the main body of the leaders, But I swam past Wolfpack because I was in the surf zone for one also, corkscrewing, and made it happen. And I remember Chuck Williams comes over to me. He's like, hey, you want a beer? I was like, yeah, take one of those cigarettes also. I joked, of course, because he happened to be smoking a cigarette at the time. But yep. Let's see here. Yeah, no. So for those of us that, are on the YouTube, on video games, in front of the computer a lot, do something before you sit down. So when I go up to my office, I'll put my gear down, and before I sit in front of the computer, I'll knock out a set of either max set of pull-ups, or, if I know I'm going to be getting up and doing a lot of activity, I'll do a max set, and then I'll just do maybe a set of 10 pull-ups, every time I cross underneath the bar right outside my office. Air squats and push-ups, of course. Yeah, corkscrew. I corkscrewed. So basically, it's a freestyle stroke, right? And every time the wave hit me, I would roll over onto my back. So I would just do this motion through the water. So corkscrew, yeah. Maybe I'll do a video on how to corkscrew through the water in a pool one day. Because it's very handy, of course, when you're open ocean swimming, because the wave, instead of fighting the water and just pushing back into it, you just let it roll you over. And so it helped me stay efficient. Would you say, Ball Don? Regular backpackers are always prepared for an emergency. Water, filtration, fire kit, dehydrated food. 100% agree. Because we have to self-sustain, Short of hunting for our own food in the middle of the woods, But speaking of going to the bathroom, I need to go to the bathroom because I got a kid-sized bladder. Holy cow, I didn't realize that we've been going for about 43 minutes already. And I appreciate all you guys for hanging out and sticking with me this long. Maybe I'll get on again on my way home. Share with you how my day went, if I don't get a chance to live stream on the roof. But until then, have a great day, YouTube. Appreciate all you guys hanging out and joining me. I will talk to you all later. All right. Goodbye. See ya.